Welcome to my channel. Out of all the animal-related videos we make, by far the most common type of comment we get is, why do bugs die on their backs? It turns out that as many as 90% of insects that wind up on their backs will end up dying that way. And it got me wondering, just how bad can it be? The sight of a struggling beetle desperately trying to flip itself over, only to have its efforts come to naught, is enough to garner quite the morbid fascination from us humans. And yet, somehow it's still not the half of it. Take this situation, for instance. You are a large beetle, weighing roughly 2/3 of a pound, which would make you around twice as heavy as a bumblebee. The sun is shining brightly, the birds are tweeting merrily, and there isn't a predator drone flying around anywhere. Life is good. You decide to take a nap on your back, but upon waking, you find yourself surrounded by tall blades of grass that smell vaguely like doom. Now you know you're in trouble. If you can't get out of this predicament quickly, you won't just die, you will quite literally die a horrible death. Your legs will become food for ants, and the sun will roast the rest of you into a crispy snack for any passing bird. But you don't have much time to waste. Every second that passes, your body becomes more and more stuck to the grass, and the hotter the sun becomes, the more difficult it is to move. You try kicking your legs, but the only thing that happens is that you end up making your situation worse. So you decide to just lie still and wait for the breeze to come and save you. But minutes turn into hours, and the breeze never comes. Eventually, the ants arrive, and your demise is sealed. Okay, maybe that was a little dramatic. But the truth is, for many insects, finding themselves on their backs is a death sentence. So why does this happen so often? It might be easy to assume that insects simply aren't strong enough to flip themselves over, but the truth is, it's not always the case. Take the dung beetle, for instance. Its job is literally to roll balls of dung across the ground. And yet these little guys still find themselves in sticky situations all the time. For many insects, being on their backs is less a physical challenge and more of a death sentence. Not only does it make it harder to breathe, but their exoskeleton also offers little protection from predators when they're in this position. Add to that the fact that many insects rely on their antennae to sense danger, and you have a recipe for disaster. Take the rhinoceros beetle, for instance. These guys are already in danger of extinction due to habitat loss. But if they're unable to properly sense their surroundings, they're unlikely to survive long enough to breed and pass on their magnificent horns to future generations. But still, some insects manage to avoid the worst of it. The water strider, for instance, has evolved to be almost equally at home on its back or its front. That said, even these guys need water to stay alive, so they'll eventually run out of luck. But what about those insects who are physically unable to flip themselves over? Well, let's just say they're better off dead. To move their bodies, insects use a variety of strategies, from the familiar caterpillar inching along to the bizarre crab walk of the stick insect. But none of these techniques work when you're on your back. In fact, the only way an insect can move when it is upside down is by essentially throwing itself in random directions. And while this strategy has a certain chaotic charm to it, it's not exactly an efficient way to go about things. After all, you're essentially at the mercy of the elements. If the wind picks up, you could end up somewhere great. Or if it's a really unlucky day, you could end up somewhere terrible. And here's the cruelest part. Some insects actually do get lucky and find themselves in a position where they can successfully flip themselves over. But in doing so, they inadvertently kill themselves. Take the ladybug, for instance. When faced with the prospect of imminent death, ladybugs play a trick on their bodies, essentially lulling themselves into a death-like state. This gives potential predators the idea that they've already been eaten and leaves them alone. But once the coast is clear, ladybugs will typically find themselves in an even worse situation than before. Because when you're upside down, your abdomen can end up sealed shut, leaving you unable to eat, drink, or reproduce. And without these basic functions, you're unlikely to survive long enough to do anything about your predicament. So unless you're a ladybug, your best bet is to just lie still and hope for the best. Just kidding. Don't do that. Insects are truly fascinating creatures, but sometimes it's their struggles that captivate us the most. Hopefully this video gave you some insight into the many reasons why insects die on their backs. Please like and subscribe. It helps us grow our channel. Thanks for watching.